I don't know about you, but I think the Avengers may want to look at their articles of incorporation before they go on their next mission. Hi, it's Sean from MC&J.
And Sabrina.
And today we're talking with you about the business structures that you can see in the MCU. Because this week, we're in the endgame. That's right. All of the Marvel movies from the last 11 years come to their dramatic finish with the release of Avengers Endgame. But don't worry, there are no spoilers in this video for Avengers Endgame, but some minor spoilers for all of the other Marvel movies that you may or may not have seen yet. And always remember that there will be a legal concept that you probably missed. Each solo movie in the MCU is effectively a sole proprietor. A singular, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man who's responsible for what he does and gets the positives or negatives of his actions. And Sabrina drew a picture.
Yeah.
But I have something better than pictures.
Wow. Okay.
A sole proprietor is not incorporated, and the sole proprietor is responsible for all the liabilities and risks. Also, all of the business assets are just an extension of the owner's assets. So when Spider-Man was fighting the Vulture in Homecoming, and he crashed that plane, Spider-Man was liable for all that destruction. Sorry, Spidey.
Start? I don't feel so good.
Naturally, there are some tasks that require more heroes and groups are created, such as the Avengers. With its shield oversight, the Avengers are essentially the corporation of the MCU. Corporations are created by filing articles of incorporation with the Secretary of State in the primary state for the business. Usually, they must have shareholders or stakeholders, depending on where you live. In Captain America Civil War, Scarlet Witch tries to stop Crossbones from self-destructing while they're in Wakanda. Unfortunately, Crossbones is able to self-destruct right outside of a crowded building. While the Avengers as a whole are held responsible, it's Scarlet Witch who faces the most government wrath. That's exactly how it works with a corporation. There are stakeholders to whom the entity is accountable. If there's an issue, the person who did the act and the company as a whole are held liable, but the other members of the corporation who are not involved in the act are not held personally liable. The other members of the Avengers were given an opportunity to sign the Sokovia Accords, but weren't held personally liable for the destruction caused by Wanda's actions with Crossbones. There are times when a group is not as structured, kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy, who I consider to be the LLC of the MCU. Flexible, but really unpredictable. In both Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, it's really unclear who's really running the show. Sometimes it seems like it's Star-Lord, sometimes it seems like it's Rocket Raccoon. This flexible organization is really reminiscent of an LLC. Like a corporation, the LLC is created with articles of incorporation, but an LLC doesn't really have shareholders or stakeholders. And as the name would suggest, there are protections for each member from the other member's actions. Their liability is limited. Star-Lord really better be thankful, because Rocket broke a lot of stuff when he was trying to help Thor get his axe. Not everything is sunshine and daisies in either the business realm or in the MCU, and sometimes ventures just don't work out how people planned. We saw that with Captain America Civil War. Captain America and Iron Man saw themselves on opposite sides of the Sokovia Accords. This really changed the Avengers forever. And although there were more fisticuffs than in the real world, what we saw really was the dissolution of an organization. Many times a corporation or LLC have specific provisions in their operating agreement that direct how a dissolution is supposed to occur. But I'm assuming that Cap and Iron Man skipped that section when they decided to go their separate ways by beating each other senseless. All of these examples show that the MCU closely mirrors real-life business organizations, a lot more closely than one would expect, especially when there's an 8-foot green rage monster running around. But that is a legal idea that you probably missed in the MCU.